name's Dave Yearwood. I'm counsel on the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. My question is with respect to Hill experience and how it affects your personal brand, and perhaps does it pigeonhole you into a certain portfolio? For example, Stuart, you start out working on science issues, and then you go work for the congressman on the Space Coast and whatnot. In terms of what you specialize in on the Hill, does that kind of determine your fate in terms of what you'll work on in the future? Or, you know, if you're looking for a job in, say, a few years, if your member's retiring, does just being on the Hill have value in and of itself? Or is your particular portfolio what really drives you?
Yeah, I don't know how to figure out how to get out yet. So, 5 years. No, I think it can with some people, and I think certainly one of the things I see when a lot of times when people leave the Hill, they'll often go to, if they stick around town, they'll go to work for a firm that worked on issues that were before the committee that your boss served on. So it can be limiting. That's not always the experience, but I'd say probably 70% of what I've seen, maybe 80% it is. So it can. But then there are other issues. I mean, I started on these issues, and I worked for Dave Weldon, who was a physician. I handled healthcare policy issues for him for 14 years. That was not something that I had chosen, but it was thrown in my lap, and enjoyed it. I still do those for Congressman Posey. So.
You know, in my case, when I was on the Hill, I worked on trade and international affairs issues. But when I took the leap over to SBA, my portfolio was food, drug, and health regulations, so completely different. So I guess I wasn't pigeonholed.
Okay.
The biggest thing I see is, one thing is when people are trying to, whether it's here in the Hill or just trying to get different experience anywhere, you have to be willing maybe to do a step lower in the job that you're going to take, so that you can get that experience, so that even though in the long run it'll make you stronger, but you can't necessarily switch portfolios and expect to keep necessarily going on an upward trajectory. And somebody once said something to me that sometimes it's okay to not always be going up, but to be going flat, but getting additional experience in different issue areas that will help you grow faster in the long run.
I think the other thing, just the experience you're getting, you're learning how to take an issue, complex issue, and distill it down. That's incredibly valuable experience that you can translate to other issue areas. A lot of it is knowing where to go, how to get answers to those questions, and how to do that. And you learn that in the particular issue that you're working in, but it's applicable in other policy areas.